It's the Shatkin First Down Pregame Show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin, and our special celebrity guest, William Fichtner. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Jared Shatkin.
Welcome to another edition of the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Dr. Jared Shatkin, so much going on. We're going to obviously talk about the Bills and Dolphins later in the show. We'll go in the huddle with members of the Mafia, including our good pal Mookie Hawkins, who will be joining us. We also will do some trivia with the 2-minute drill. A very famous Bills fan straight from Hollywood, but native Western New Yorker will join us. But first, we need to go around the water cooler and talk the Bills and Commanders. All right, so, we're supposed to act as sort of experts on this show, I guess. We all, I think, sort of predicted that the Bills would win in last week's show, but not by 34 points. We all thought it would be a little bit closer, and Sam Howell would play better, and the defense of the Commanders up front would be better, and none of that happened for Washington. So let's talk about the game, and let's start with a guy that you've been praising since the beginning, Terrell Bernard, who was fantastic, started slow, but naturally he's going to start slow, right? In the opening game, had got no reps in training camp. It's going to take him some time, not only for him to figure out and get his feet wet on the field, but also for the coaches to see what he's capable of, and what a monumental game for him, huh? Yeah,
it's like having a second Matt Milano on the field the way he played the other day. Those were some amazing interceptions. The interception he had was an amazingly athletic play. He was making tackles. He's making sacks. I think he went interception to sack within 2 drives. And then that fumble recovery, I was like, what is going on here? This guy's having a real breakout game. And he was making Sam Howell pretty worried the whole game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's a guy that defines the term ball hawk. But all of the Bills' defense played terrifically. You talk about the picks. They were all over the place. Trey White's pick. Obviously, Epinessa's pick was fantastic. Hyde came up big when he made his play. But the front 7, everybody was great defensively. But how about 9 sacks out of that front?
We were talking about Washington's front 7 having a big game, but it turns out Leonard Floyd and A.J. Epinesa and the guys up front for Buffalo can make some plays too. And I'm not surprised. I think the Bills have probably the best defensive line in the NFL, in my opinion, right now. And they really showed it against a guy in Sam Howell, who has not seen a defense like that. And you could tell this was, he's not a rookie, but he played like a rookie this game, and he might have a bright future, but it wasn't against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I know that you have one issue from the game, and it was hard to find one. I think I know what it is. We haven't talked about this yet, but go ahead and let me know what your issue was in the game.
Okay, listen. I don't actually love the play calling by Ken Dorsey this game. I think not only that 4th down play where he decided to pass instead of having your 6'6", big quarterback run it right through the middle for 1 yard. There's another play on 3rd and long where he ran a screen pass, and it just seems like we really are not doing what we picked Dalton Kincaid to do, which is be on the field and be a target more than 3 yards down the field. So, yes, 37 points is awesome, and I get that we had a short field, and I get every play isn't going to be perfect, but it kind of has to be when you're playing a team like the Miami Dolphins, which we are next week. So, yeah, the game versus the Commanders, we had a great game, and we won 37-3, but there's still just some questions I have about Ken Dorsey. There really are, and I didn't think I would have it after we won 37-3, but just throughout the game, I found myself kind of being like, why did we do that? Why did we do that?
I happened to be at the game, and you and I were texting back and forth in particular about that 3rd and 12. We both said, what in that was that?
Yeah.
And obviously it blew up, and I think part of that was Dorsey's obviously confidence in his kicking game, his field goal kicker and Bass. Mm-hmm. But still, you wonder with the power and the potential of this offense, why you would do that on that particular down and distance. Obviously, very quickly, offensively, Josh was great. He wasn't over the top. He was very controlled, had the one great play when he was rolling to his right and threw across to Diggs. That was phenomenal. Obviously, he had a great rush touchdown. The touchdown to Davis was phenomenal. But James Cook, how impressive. Another great game from him.
Yeah, again, James Cook week to week just answers the bell. And it's like he runs on a string. He's got everybody just – he's super shifty, but he's shifty in a way where he's still going north and south. So it's very impressive what he's doing.
All right, coming up next, maybe one of the most famous Bills fans on the planet is going to join us. He's a Hollywood actor who went to, yes, Maryvale for high school locally. You might know by that hint who I'm talking about. We'll let you know who that is when we come back on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
It's apple picking time. When was the last time you bit into an apple? With affordable Shatkin Mini Dental Implants, you can. Stabilize your dentures and replace missing teeth in as little as one visit. You can be you again, only better. Call the Aesthetic Associates Center today at 716-839-1700 for your free consultation.
So here we are, and you are, obviously one of Buffalo's most favorite sons, and you are always here in one way or the other, giving back one way or the other. And you're certainly one of the most vocal Bills fans and Sabres fans out there, native to Buffalo. That's on sort of a global stage. So lots to talk to you about, but obviously let's start with the Bills. You have had some air quotes downtime recently, so more time for you to, I guess, stress about your team, huh?
I got a couple of things to talk about when it comes to the beginning of the football season. One is that I enjoyed coming into this season with nobody really paying attention to the Bills. Not really. It's the Joe Burrow's life. It's the Patrick Mahomes. It's everybody else, because of the Cincinnati game. So then we have our game against the Jets, went to an overtime that's, were a tripping penalty. And then I believe 3 fines were levied against Jets guys because of that play, like cheap hits. There are 5 referees on the field. Nobody saw any of that. Come on. Anyway, it is what it is. The Jets deserve to win that game. We didn't have our finest hour. And there's one guy out there saying, what a travesty Josh Allen is. I'm sorry, did I get that right? A travesty? No football player in the history of the NFL in his first 5 years has put as many touchdowns on the board. Travesty? Josh Allen, to me, mistakes or not mistakes or whatever, and it's part of, listen, this game against Washington, who completes that pass when you're falling out to the outside?
Such a good play.
Diggs? Who completes that? Now, some guys get out there and they're going, reckless, he's reckless. Well, he may be reckless, but that is who he is. And he will attempt things that other guys wouldn't do that. And make no mistake about it. What's Josh's record in the last 3 years? I don't know, 36-12 or something. It's, and everybody and their brother is going to take Miami this weekend. Anybody that thinks that they're coming to Buffalo to slap down 600 yards of offense or 700 yards, it's a reality check here. But I'm still old school enough to think that if the Bills go 2-15 and both wins are against the Dolphins, it was a pretty good year. I got to be in the stadium on Sunday. I have to be. It's one of the joys of my life, which is why I want to get back this weekend, because I like to get there early. I like to walk through the parking lot. I like to be around the energy of what it is to be in my beloved hometown. And with these fans, there's just nothing like it anywhere.
Before we let you go, we got to ask you. So obviously we know about the writer's strike, but the actor's strike is still a thing as well. So talk about, as simplistically as you can for the people viewing, the sort of the dynamics of what has gone on, what is going on.
A lot of it is residuals. It's making a project and having a studio sell that project over and over again. Let's put it this way. 20 years ago, we got residuals way more than now. But I also want to add too, again, I don't have the specific numbers, but I'm pretty close here. Out of every $100 I've been told that a studio makes on a project, let's say you do a series and they sell it over and over, there's a piece of the pie for the actors. There's a piece of the pie for the directors and the writers. The actors' piece of the pie, what they split up residual wise, it's like $1 out of every $100 that the studio makes.
Wow.
People think that we're asking for 50%. No. That's how low it is. And the writers get a little bit more than that, and the directors get about the same as the actors. But we're not talking about monster numbers. We're talking about numbers that are fair. And that's why I support both of these strikes. Did everybody lose out? Sure, studios, there's no new programming coming on. You see the advertisement for ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. What do they got? New game show, new reality show, new this. There's no new dramatic programming on or comedic programming. Not now. It's reruns of things.
Yep.
So it's going to take a while to have the ship get up there. Everybody lost a lot, but every once in a while, these things have to happen in order to go, hold on, before you just absolutely take a big boot and stomp us. Stop. Let's get fair about this. And that's my belief of what's happening. And I'm 100% with the Screen Actors Guild, no matter how long it takes. Let's put it this way, Rich. I don't worry about it as much as I used to. I'm an old guy now. I go with the flow, babe. I go with the flow. As long as I got some Labatt Blue in the fridge, I'm good.
That's right. That's right. A little blue and your Bills and Sabres, who, by the way, the Sabres, I think, have something like 5 preseason games this week. And you had to be really excited about last year and the strides they made as a fan.
The season finished up with something that really made me smile. And that's this young goaltender. And I'm really excited about him. I really am. He's young, and it's not easy coming into the NHL, but I think we got our guy.
As always, Buffalo loves you. We can't wait to see you this weekend, man. Keep rooting from the left coast for everybody that's a Bills fan and a Sabre fan, and we can't wait to see you again, man. Thanks for doing this. We really appreciate you as always.
Appreciate you too, man. We'll see you soon.
Sounds great. Thanks, man.
Peace out, Buffalo.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin, the clinical director here at the new Shatkin Dental Health Postgraduate Dental Residency Program. For years, I've felt there's been a need to help those patients who just can't afford quality care but want to be treated in a private dental office setting. Shatkin Dental Health will save you 20 to 30% on the procedures you need without compromising the care you deserve.
Call Shatkin Dental Health today at 43 Smile and receive a dental cleaning and x-rays for only $43. And as always, consultations are free.
It means a lot to be able to work with my dad to continue this legacy that we have going on.
I had many implants. Once I got them, it was like the old me came back.
The changes you can make in such a short period of time in somebody's life, have somebody in the chair crying because they finally have a full set of teeth. And I think the only way to do it in that type of time period for that type of price is really the mini implant.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
All right, we're in the pocket. National Arena League MVP from the Jacksonville Sharks. He's back again for another week. Sam Castronova, good to see you, pal.
Good to see you, brother.
Let's talk a little bit about Tua. Going into the season, we all knew if he was going to be successful, he could not get hurt. Not only has he not gotten hurt yet, he hasn't even gotten touched. What's the reason? Why is he unable to not only not get sacked, but even hit in games? What's going on there?
Well, for one, I think his head coach / play caller is doing a great job of getting the ball out and mixing in with the running. They're running the ball very, very effective right now, so play action, all that stuff. But Tua does a great job of processing things and getting the ball out.
Yeah, so is it basically for him, it's a 3-step drop, progression, boom. If it's open, maybe 2 progressions at most.
He's getting the ball out, and he's smart. He knows he's not the biggest guy, so if he's going to get hit, he might get hurt. So 5-step, 3-step, or whatever it is, he's taking his reads, and he's getting the ball out and working from there.
And the interesting thing, too, about them, if you think about it, between Tyreek Hill and kind of fill in the blank, Waddle's been dinged, obviously, but after those 2 guys, it's kind of a fall off in terms of the receiving core.
Yeah.
So how have they been able to do it, aside from, I know you threw in the run game, and that's been a big piece of that.
Huge piece, yeah.
But in addition to the run game, what have they done aside from Hill and maybe even Waddle to expand their pass game and keep him as efficient as he's been?
I mean, they threw in that motion play where it's a real simple read, but I mean, they're so effective on it. I think they run it 5-10 times a game, and it's just looks like they're getting 5-10 yards a pop every time. It's a 1-step drop out of the shotgun. But they're making reads simple for him, but what he lacks for in arm strength, he makes up for, and like I said, processing quickly, being accurate with the ball, and he's got a really quick release. So he's doing a really good job right now.
And clearly, how do you stop him? I mean, I would suspect, and it's probably the case for you and every quarterback, you got to be in his face, right?
Yeah, pressure, and we got some big, long guys, so hopefully they can get some tip balls too, because I think he's 6 foot, so that's what we can hope and pray for.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, stick around. We're going to have you around the round table and part of the huddle coming up next.
Sounds good.
All right, welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Sam, great job in the pocket, and now you're part of the huddle and around the round table. We welcome a brand new guest to the round table in the huddle. We go way back, man. Mookie Hawkins is here. Give it up for Mookie. He's in the house, WUFO Radio. He's got podcasts and Twitter. He's everywhere. If you watch Coach McDermott's press conferences ever, he always addresses Mookie as Mookie, obviously, as your name. So you're tight with the coach, clearly.
Me and McDermott got a good relationship. We're here.
See that? Yeah. It's great to see you, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here. Of course, Dr. Jared back for another segment. And CJ the Rev is back for another year. Good to see. It's been a couple years. I don't think you were on last year. Were you on last year?
No, I think it might have been 2 years ago.
You took a year off
right.
last year. A little sabbatical?
That's right, sabbatical.
Okay.
We're back.
All right.
And we're ready for another season.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's get into first. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Let's get into the Redskin game first. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you, because I thought both sides of the ball, I thought everybody played really well. But I'll start with, I guess, the obvious. And Mookie, I'll start with you and talk about this incredible ascent of Bernard at the linebacker position and the historic game he had against Washington.
Well, I guess he answered all the questions, was this guy the replacement for Tremaine Edmonds, right? That was like the biggest question mark going into this season. Who is going to be middle linebacker? Is Terrell Bernard more fitting to play, or is he more of an outside linebacker? I guess he kind of answered all the doubters these past couple of weeks, but the performance that he put on Sunday was like one for the books.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Bills fans will want to see that every week out of their middle linebacker and Terrell Bernard. I mean, come on, man. Anything he touched was pretty much gold, in that game. So, man, thumbs up to Terrell Bernard. Keep up the good work.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I'm excited about what's going to happen next week with Terrell Bernard and the Miami Dolphins.
He defined ball hawk for sure. CJ, talk about some other defensive players. And how about Trey White? Again, here's the Redskins deep into Buffalo territory, and Trey makes a big play. Talk a little bit about that play and what that meant to the team at the time.
No, absolutely. I mean, if he could have just stayed in the end zone, that's great. But you know what? The play was amazing, and it's about time. He's getting his gears back in motion. Obviously with a lot of time off in the past, I think he's really just being a solid part of that team again. And obviously he's showing up in a big way in that play.
Yeah, and Sean McDermott's calling the defense now, and how aggressive. 9 sacks in this game, right? Talk about Epenesa's play, Sam.
Yeah, Epinesa, that interception was pretty sweet. It was cool to see him make a play and kind of put a stamp on things. But I think McDermott's done a great job calling the defense. It's been pretty impressive what he's done, as opposed to Frazier's kind of just sit back and let them take it to you, where McDermott's been aggressive. Our defensive line has been so impressive this year as opposed to years past. Leonard Floyd was a huge pickup, and Ed Oliver is every penny he's worth, looks like he's worth right now. So it's been pretty cool to watch.
For sure. And Dr. Jared, I'm going to flip it over now. How about James Cook, man?
Yeah, this is very important for our team right now, because the running game is starting the whole entire passing game. Josh is getting the play action passing going to Stephon Diggs. We have a short field a lot of the game this week, and I think James Cook and his running game really kind of stepped up to the plate.
I mean, that was an all-around beatdown by the Bills of Washington. So let's fast forward a little bit, guys, to obviously the historic Miami Dolphins, with only the 4th team in history to score 70 points in a game. And, people in Denver's got to be shaking their heads about what's going on there, clearly. But it's interesting the way they did it and the way they've been doing it, Mookie. They've been doing it, yes, obviously in the air, which is what they've been known for, but more so on the ground in the last couple of weeks.
But they did that against the Bills in the playoffs when Raheem Mostert had over 100 yards in that first half. So it's kind of like, just carryover from that. And that definitely can pose a problem for this Bills defense, but we know Poona Ford would definitely be active for that matchup.
We need to go to the 2-minute drill. All right, time for the 2-minute drill. So we do this trivia thing on the show every week, and usually it has something to do with the 2 teams that are playing, the Bills and the Dolphins. So here we go. All right, so the Bills had 9 sacks last week against Washington. Is the team record A, 12, 11 against the Denver Broncos, or 10, which was it, A, B, or C?
I'm going to say A.
I'm going to say B. Just because Denver gave up 70 points last week, I'm going to say maybe they gave up those type of sacks.
You got a guess?
My guess is C.
C, okay. You two guys are right. It was Denver in 1964, 11 sacks.
Was that a stat back then?
I guess so. Yeah, I think I'm keeping track somewhere.
I looked it up. I mean, Wikipedia's not wrong, right, or something like that anyway, but I found that there. So there's question number one. How about this one? This will make you think a little bit. Who was the last full-time Dolphins starter before Tua?
Let me put my Jeopardy hat on with that one. Right.
I know this is a stumper, but not.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
It was Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick.
Yes, Fitz was the last. Yes, that's right.
The year they tried to tank, but they won too many games.
That's right. That's right.
And finally, Devin Achane now. So, of course, big game against Denver, 4 touches, over 200 yards rushing on the ground. And his high school played the high school that another Dolphin running back, Hall of Famer, wore 34, also went to in Houston.
Who am I talking about?
Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas is right.
Thurman Thomas and Devin Achane. Their 2 high schools, Thurgood Marshall and Willow Ridge, played against each other even back then when Thurman went, and even today in 2023. So now it's time for the picks. So Mookie, let's start with you. Score prediction for the game between the Dolphins and the Bills at Hyman.
You know, everybody is thinking that this 70, like they can do this against anybody. Okay, they caught a bad Denver team. Again, this Bills defense is not getting enough credit the way they deserve, and I think that's going to be more fuel to the fire. I don't think this game is going to be close. You know, I say Bills 30, Miami 20.
All right, Sam.
I'm going to go with Bills 24, Dolphins 21. I think it's a little lower scoring than people think.
All right. And CJ.
I'm going to go with a little higher of a score with 31. I think we're going to go 31 Bills, and we'll go 20. Let's go 28 Dolphins. Okay, field goal difference. I think the spread
2.5.
midweek was 2.5.
Yeah. So it's going to be, you know, they're thinking obviously the Bills are getting that home field advantage in terms of Vegas and the odds makers, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Guys, great to see you. Thanks for being here. CJ, thank you for being here, man.
Absolutely.
And you guys, you're always here. All right, back with our final segment. We're going to break down the Bills and the Dolphins when we come back. Myself and Dr. Jared on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
I'm Princess Glitterhead. I was in pain like my whole life with my teeth. I want to feel better. Like, what could I do? Like, I could actually go all the way and actually like fix myself, be healthy, get rid of all the decay. So I made a free consultation appointment. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go get my teeth back. And I could see it helping so many people, including myself. It's gonna change your life. It really does. Wow. Oh my God.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
I don't know why I'm so emotional about it.
My self-esteem wasn't where it should have been because I was really, really self-conscious about my teeth. When I walked into Shatkin Dental, I was instantly ready for the residency program. I knew that that is what I needed. I needed the discount. I needed the dentist that was going to fix everything. My self-esteem is already getting much, much, much higher just from starting the procedures.
Call Shatkin Dental Health today at 43 Smile for quality dental care you can afford.
All right, welcome back to the final segment of this, the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Dr. Jared Shatkin. Bills, Dolphins. I mean, I don't think anyone thought that this game was going to have the build-up in Week 4 that it is getting going into it, and much deserved. I mean, the Bills coming off a 37-point performance against Washington, and the Dolphins, of course, their historic 70-point performance against Denver last week. 4th team in history to do that, first time since 1966. I mean, the numbers are ridiculous. 726 yards, a franchise record in one game, 8 touchdowns between the 2 running backs. 2 of the first quarterbacks since 91 to complete 15 in a row with at least 200 yards in the first half. It's really remarkable what this offense has done under McDaniels. But interestingly, we come into this season, Jared, and we think it's all passing, right? It's all Tua, it's all Tyreek, it's all Jalen Waddle. And interestingly, first game of the year against the Chargers, 45 attempts for Tua. Next game, 30. Last week, 26. What's happened in the run game? 20 rushes against the Chargers, 30 against New England, and 43 against Denver. What does that all mean especially for the Bills defense.
It means that Miami has a very powerful offense and can beat you through the air and on the run, and it's something to be pretty scared of.
And what do you do to defend that ultimately? Do you play 8 in the box and say, okay, we know you're good in the ground game. We're going to put our 2 Pro Bowl safeties back there, and we'll see if you can beat us, because they don't get beat by the big ball usually.
No, I think you trust Sean McDermott's scheme and you play to our strengths, and we let Miami beat us the way they've been playing, because I think the Bills have some players on our side now that can match up a lot better than some of the teams Miami has played right now.
Do you play defensively? Do you play zone, or do you play man? I mean, do you slow them down by getting a DB in front of their receivers? Just slow them down that half second so Tua can't get the ball out as quickly as he has been?
I mean, that's the question. Do we get Kaiir Elam up this game because he's a little more physical and he's had some pretty good games against Miami? I think you kind of do a mix of both. And I think one thing you definitely have to have is those safeties over the top, because Tyreek Hill can beat you any play. It's one of these things where you can't be afraid to get beat deep, because you might get beat deep once, but you also don't want to give up those chunks of yardage that Tua's been playing with awesome anticipation. So it's one of those things you really have to be tight on your coverage this game.
So advantage Bills, A, they're home, B, Miami's getting all the pub now in terms of their offense, and the Bills are getting virtually no pub in terms of their offense, despite their output the last 2 games.
Yeah, we put up 38 and 37, and, you know, we're humming right now. And, yeah, I think it's really good to be under the radar. That's what I'll say. I think this is a good time for Miami to come to Buffalo, because this is when we're going to be counted out. The national media is never going to pick us, and it's one of those times where the unsung heroes, the Buffalo Bills, are going to come in and shine.
And you see, based on what we told you about in the Dolphins, they've been imbalanced, right? It's a lot of passes to a little running, and then it's slowly the tables have turned. The Bills have been very balanced, and I think they have to maintain that, right?
Yep, and I think both of these teams are not going to have the same type of offensive outputs that they've had in previous weeks, because I think both of these teams are a lot better than the teams we've been playing. So these offenses are going to have to start playing more conventional. One of the things the Bills are going to have to do this game is get Josh comfortable again, and I think that what he's most comfortable in is 5 wide, in my opinion.
And I think finally in the Bills locker room, they can't make this game like I feel like they felt the Jet game was in terms of all the hype about this game. They got to play their game. They have to stay in control and composed. Bottom line, end of story. What's your pick for the game?
I was thinking about picking the Dolphins, but we had Mookie on, and you guys are getting me hyped up. I think the Bills are going to win this game. I think 31-28 is going to be the score.
We're close. I got them 33-27, Bills winning this game. So everybody around the board, the round table, and the 2 of us picked the Bills once again. And at home, with a lot to prove, and obviously to not go 0-2 in the division, it is such a massive, massive game. Well, thanks so much for watching. Got to thank Dr. Todd Shatkin, Aesthetic Associate, Shatkin Dental as well, and you for being a part of our Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show family. Go Bills, squish the fish. We'll see you next week here on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
If you would like to be a participant in the Shatkin First Down Huddle, email Mark Aarons at maarons@shatkinfirst.com. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.